start this segment of The Simple Truth. You just heard from the man himself, Don King, where he said, only in America, only in America, only in America can you print money like it is paper and make a mistake. And when you make the mistake, all you have to do is just print some more, because the cost and the burden is not laid upon you, the printer. It's laid upon those that will receive the printing. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Jermaine, with another episode of The Simple Truth. And I came across an article on RT, Russia Today, and it was an article that came out yesterday, today being the 15th of August, 2013, came out on the 14th. And the article was about the very thing that is propping up our economy. Many of the people that are in the know when it comes to our economy here in the United States, the reason why we are not seeing the ill effects of the economy, kind of like they did in the 20s when the stock market crashed and we had the Great Depression, is because we have a printing press here in the United States, and the government has proven with all of the QEs. If you're not familiar with the QEs, they are the quantitative easings, which means you print more money and put it out into the marketplace, or put it out there to the consumers and to the economy itself. And when you do so, it's supposed to, quote unquote, stimulate the economy. This is not a lesson about QEs, but it's just to give you a slight simple truth understanding of what a QE is. And because of that printing press, when we print things, how many times have you gone to print something here at the house or in the office and you make a mistake? What do? You just, you crumble it up, throw it in the trash, and print it again. Well, the Department of Engraving and Printing, the BEP, has had the same problem when it comes to printing the fiat currency that we call dollars here in the United States. They are about to introduce a brand new $100 bill. It is all pretty and it has colors on it, and it has holograms and 3D images and hidden security features. But in their processing of this new $100 bill, they have been having some difficulty in printing. They had their first difficulty in 2010, which pushed the release date of the new $100 bill back to 2011. Then they had some more problems in printing, and they had to further push the release date back to where we are today, 2013. The projected release of the $100 bill is somewhere in early October. You'll hear it when I share this article with you. And they're going to print some more. Well, think about it like this, ladies and gentlemen. I guess the way the federal government works when it comes to handling things in the economy, especially when it comes to printing the fiat currency that we use to render for services, the things that we do every day. If they make a mistake, oops, just print some more. Why? Because it's only costing you, the American people, for the printing. And even though the mistakes are going to, the burden of the mistake is going to lay with you, they continue to do what they choose to do. But think about it. If we, in our private, individual way of handling things in the way that our government does, if we couldn't balance a checkbook, if we overspent and overdrew our checking account, or if we had a credit card and we maxed it out, could we call the credit card company and say, hey, I'm not finished buying the things that I want to buy, and the amount of what I had on my credit card is enough. I need you to extend and give me more credit, and ultimately knowing that we have no intention of paying it back. Well, no. We as individuals can't do that, but yet those that are infinitely more intelligent than us, they can do that, and they can make justifications and reasons for why they can do it, but as individuals, we can't do it. I want you to check out this article I'm going to share with you. I'm going to read through the article with you. I'm going to show you the picture of the new bill. And I just say, before I go to the article, what say you? Is it, I don't want to use the word fair, because I'm a firm believer that fair is in the eyes of the person providing the treatment. So it is absolutely fair that the federal government feels that they can do what they want to do, but because it is right in their eyes. However, for those that have to be the one to burden these things, is it right for us to be held to a higher standard than those that are supposedly the ones in quote unquote authority over us? Go ahead and check this article out, and I'll be right back with a final thought. Okay, well, here's the article I was referring to. As you can see here, it comes from RT, which is Russia Today News, and it is entitled U.S. Misprinted 30 Mil New $100 Bills. And it comes from August the 14th, 2013. You can see here the picture of the new bills. They're colored now. And it says newly designed $100 notes lay in stacks at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing on May 20th, 2013 in Washington, D.C. Here's the beginning of the article, and we'll read through it real quickly. The U.S. is approaching the release date of its new $100 bills, but the Bureau of Engraving and Printing is facing an embarrassing problem. 30 million bills were incorrectly printed, and fixing them will cost taxpayers an estimated $3.79 million. The new $100 bills were designed to reduce counterfeiting and were initially scheduled to be released in 2010. But that summer, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing noticed that the bills were being produced with a blank sliver due to a fold in the paper. The release date was therefore pushed back to 2011 and again pushed back in 2013. But additional printing problems could once again delay the release of the Benjamins. The new $100 bills are designed to contain a Liberty Bell that changes its color, 3D images that move when the bill is tilted, and a hidden message on the collar of Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers. Two currency factories are responsible for printing all U.S. bills, but the Washington, D.C. factory produced clearly unacceptable versions of the $100 bills, according to a July memo that the New Yorker obtained from the Bureau. Recent batches that came from the factory were mashed, which means they were produced with too much ink and the lines are not as crisp as they should be. The New Yorker compared it to a kid trying to carefully color inside the lines using watercolors and a flat paintbrush. Once these bills were delivered to the Federal Reserve, they were rejected. Officials have sent back about 30 million of them and refused to accept any more bills from the Washington, D.C. factory. And as you can see here, you see the picture of the $100 bill with the coloring on it. Let's go on and finish this article. Instead, the factory in Fort Worth, Texas is now expected to compensate for the defective currency. The currency release date is October the 8th, and it remains unclear if the government will be able to obtain enough of the bills to get them into circulation. The blunder is also expensive, since it costs about 12.6 cents to produce each bill, making another 30 million costs about $3.78 million, the Atlantic estimates. Additionally, the cost of disposal of the defective bills could be around $12,000. Quote, there are dire consequences here because BEP sells Federal Reserve notes to the board to finance our entire operation, unquote. BEP Director Larry Felix wrote in an internal memo, quote, if the BEP does not meet the order, the BEP does not get paid, unquote. A spokesman for the BEP told The Atlantic that the Federal Reserve is still planning to release the new currency on October the 8th, despite, quote, concerns during production validation, unquote. Last quote. We have confidence in our process and employees, unquote, a BEP representative told the New Yorker Daily News, re-emphasizing that the agency does not plan to delay the release date a third time. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard what the article had to say. Basically, what it comes down to it is that the federal government themselves went to print some of the bills, the new design, and well, I'm sorry. Let me take this back before someone goes, well, they didn't say that, and it wasn't the federal government per se. It was a company that printed it for the federal government. I understand that it was a company that printed it for the federal government. However, when it comes down to the burden of who has to pay for it, they don't pay for it. They pass along the burden of their mistake onto everyday people like myself and like you. The simple truth of the whole matter is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are not allowed to mess up and have no consequence for messing up. Then why is it that those that are supposedly, as I said before, in authority over us, isn't it supposed to be for the people, by the people? Or is it for some and not for others? Or is it what's good for me is not okay for you? Or do what I say, not what I do? Anything that you choose to make it, the simple truth is they can do something, but we cannot. Well, this has been yet another episode of The Simple Truth. And as I always share with you, it's the simple things that are oftentimes the most profound, but yet they're the most difficult to put into practice and to actually do. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of The Simple Truth, and I'll be sure to see you, and you again real soon.